Welcome back to the studio, Warhammer Man, and today we're going to be working on our Necromunda, Palanite Enforcers, and Subjugators. And this is going to be the 5-man squad for the giveaway. You'll have the option between the Palanites and the Corpse Grinders. It's going to be a little 5-man crew, and the winner of the 250 and 500 subscriber giveaways going to get one or the other. So the 250 will be drawn, and whoever gets picked for that will choose either to have the Corpse Grinders or the Palanites, and then the 500 will get the other gang all painted up and ready to go. It's a nice little 5-man starter gang. So but here in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get these guys converted up. So what we're going to do is 3 of the Enforcers and 2 of the Subjugators. So we get a 5-man crew, a nice little mix of both. And we're going to do some slight conversions on them as well. So we're going to start out by just going through the sprues and cutting out all the pieces for our main 5 guys. Alright, so now we went through and got all our pieces cut out and everybody cleaned up, and now we're just gonna go through and basically just do like the sub assembly builds for everybody. So we're basically just gonna do like the torsos, the legs, and then you know, if we want to like glue the heads now you can, or like a lot of times I'll do the heads separately, paint them separately, and then glue them on at the end. But we're just gonna go through and you know, follow the instructions. Obviously, if you haven't put any of these guys together, I highly recommend using the instructions because they have like very specific pieces go in very specific places. And if you notice like a mold line that isn't cleaned off all the way or whatever, you want to make sure you get it prior to paint, obviously. But yeah, we're just going to go through and basically just build up each one of our guys and just get their general, you know, shape basically laid out. And then from there we can kind of go through figure out exactly what we're going to do as far as weapons and customizations, and then we're better equipped to make those modifications for the game. And I think these will run in about basically like 500 points. They're about like half gangs essentially, the way we're doing it. And then that way, you know, whoever wins them can basically just expand onto it however they want and kind of customize it, but they'll have like a solid base, you know, for like your starter gang or whatever. Because I know like a lot of the like the missions and the campaigns and everything start at 1,000 points, but you could essentially like play warm-up games or starter games or whatever like prior to that. If you didn't have like full gangs, obviously, or if you're just learning how to play, you might not want to run, you know, 1,000 points right off the bat. And if you just go through and clean all your bits ahead of time like I did, it just makes the assembly so much smoother because you're just cleaning up like a little mold line here or there or whatever, as opposed to like every piece you go to put on you have to like go back and clean. It just makes sense to do it all ahead of time, like assembly line style, and then just be able to like rip through the actual building of them. I don't think he's going to want to stand up. That's another thing I do too with the bases. I never like attach them straight onto like their base right away, because I just like to paint the bases separately, and then kind of like blend the guy onto the base so they look like they're from the same environment. But yeah, I don't like painting. I don't like painting the guys on the bases or the bases on the guys, like while they're all attached. I'd rather have it separated, get better detail, better quality like finish work. Alright, so now we have basically like the 5 general poses assembled, and now we have like all of our weapons for each guy, attach the necks in place, and then we can kind of go from there essentially. Alright, so now we've got like everybody basically just built up here. We've got one guy with the bolter, one guy with like the pistol and flashlight setup, and then we did a subjugator with the shield and the shock staff and a little shield action there. Not gluing it until it's painted yet. And then we've got one with the seismic. And then what we want to do is we want to convert this one onto the Sergeant here, but instead of having it held like in one hand, we want to have it held like the two-hand position that you would normally see. So what we want to do for this is we want to take like a real sharp knife, and we want to actually cut off the shotgun. We're just going to cut like the little part that he's holding right there, and then we're going to take that piece and we're just going to put it onto this gun, so then it's going to hold it in that same position. So we'll just start by cutting out the little piece. So we're going to first remove the one piece, and we want a very sharp knife for this. I might have to do this just out of the picture a little bit. You just want to use a really sharp knife and get as clean of a cut as possible, because we're basically going to remove the one piece and then replace it with a piece that's exactly the same size off of the other one. So we basically just cut like that rectangle. Man, it's so hard to see. Let me put my hand up behind it, man. We cut like that little rectangle bit out of the bottom of the gun right there, and now we're going to cut the same piece off the shotgun that has like the hand attached to it. And in this one, we want to make sure, the other one obviously the most important thing is to not damage the gun. This one, the most important thing is to not damage like the hand or the actual like handle where he's holding it. The idea being obviously that we're going to use those two pieces. We want to keep the seismic piece undamaged because we're using that, and then we want to keep the hand where he's was holding the shotgun, and now he's going to be holding the seismic gun. So now we have that little piece, which it's like impossible to even show you, I think. And then I'm going to take the seismic, and we're just going to give it like a little test fit right in there. And man, it's so hard to show in these pictures because it's like such a little microscopic piece. But if you do it just right, all you did was just replace the one piece with the other one, and it fits exactly in the hole like it was supposed to be there. And you'll probably be able to see it better in still photos. But that's basically it. That's the hand holding the seismic gun instead of the shotgun. So now if we did everything right, all we're going to do is we're just going to take the two arms that were meant to hold the shotgun now, line everything up, and if you took your time and did everything right, now you have the captain holding that bad boy two-handed. And that was our goal. And then we just end up with the little shotgun left over. And you could even take the piece that we cut out of the shotgun, or I'm sorry, of the seismic gun, and just put it back on the shotgun. And then if you wanted, you could have a one-handed shotgun like that. But yeah, that's it. That's our basic build setup. The idea was just to essentially like convert that so that he has a seismic weapon as well, and then I'm gonna probably go ahead and give him a little shock baton accessory, because he is the sergeant and he's got that upgraded weapon skill. And we'll just get them affixed to some bases and get their head set up, and they will be ready for some paint. Alright, here we got everybody all done and ready to go. We went ahead and did one of the subjugators with the seismic, one with the shield and shock staff, and then for the enforcers we have the sergeant double holding the seismic gun, and then we have the one with the bolter and one with the pistol and flashlight. So, and that's our 5 bros, and then we got the 5 corpse grinders, and we're gonna get them to paint, and we'll be back with some progress on them.